20 years ago, my son disappeared in the woods. Last night, he came back for me. I've replayed that day so many times that I could probably recite every second of it in my sleep. Every word, every footstep, every mistake. Maybe that's punishment. Maybe that's what happens when you fail the one person you were supposed to protect. My son's name was Matthew. He was 6 years old when he vanished. Bright-eyed, loud, always asking questions nobody had the patience to answer. He laughed with his whole body, like joy was too big to keep inside. He loved the woods. Every spring, my wife Claire and I would take him hiking through the same stretch of forest just outside town. It became our thing, our little escape from traffic, bills, and the noise of real life. For a few hours, it felt like we were a normal family. The last hike started like every other one. March 16th, 2006. The air was warm for the first time in months. Flowers were starting to bloom again, and sunlight poured through the trees like gold spilling through glass. Claire packed sandwiches. Matthew insisted on bringing gummy worms and a plastic dinosaur he refused to leave behind. I remember thinking how perfect the day felt. Funny how disasters always start on beautiful days. About 30 minutes into the trail, Claire started complaining that she needed to use the bathroom. At first, it was teasing, then it turned into irritation, then anger. "For the love of God, can we stop for 1 second?" she snapped. Matthew and I laughed, which only made it worse. Okay, I said, raising my hands. "Go, me and Matt will wait here." We stepped off the trail near a large boulder surrounded by pine trees. Claire disappeared farther into the woods for privacy. Matthew leaned against the rock beside me, kicking dirt with his shoe. That's when I noticed how quiet everything was. No birds, no wind, no insects. Just silence. At the time, I barely thought about it. I was too distracted joking with Matthew about how we could still hear his mother from halfway across the forest. He laughed so hard he snorted. I turned my head for 1 second. That's all it took. A single second. When I looked back, he was gone. At first, I thought he was messing with me. Matthew loved hide and seek, loved little pranks. I called his name once, twice, 10 times. Nothing, no giggling, no footsteps, just silence. Then the woods exploded, branches cracking, leaves shifting. Heavy footsteps tearing through the trees fast, too fast. Not like a child running, like something chasing or carrying. I screamed for him. I screamed so loud my throat tore open. Claire came running back, panic already written across her face. She looked around once. Then she asked the question that ruined both of our lives. "Where's Matthew?" I couldn't answer, because the truth sounded too stupid, too small, too pathetic. I looked away. That was it. 1 second, 1 stupid second. "He was right here," I said, already crying. Claire stared at me like she'd never seen me before. That look never left her. We searched until sunrise. Then the police searched, then volunteers, then dogs, then helicopters. The entire forest was turned inside out. We found one thing, his left sneaker, untied, lying in the dirt beside a creek. I remember holding that tiny shoe and feeling something inside me collapse forever. Because all I could think was, he must have been scared. He must have called for me. And I wasn't there. After that, Claire and I stopped being husband and wife. We became two ghosts living in the same house. We slept in the same bed, but might as well have been buried in separate graves. She blamed me. I blamed me. There wasn't room for anything else. We kept searching for years, posting flyers, following false leads, driving to every possible sighting anyone called in. Every time the phone rang, my heart stopped. Every time it wasn't him, something else died. Sometimes in the woods, we swore we heard him. A voice in the distance. Dad, just far enough away to make you run, never close enough to find. Maybe grief does that. Maybe the forest does. Maybe something else does. Eventually, the search became ritual instead of hope. Then even that started to die. The arguments got worse. Ugly, cruel. The kind of fights where silence afterward feels more violent than the yelling. We never had another child. It felt like betrayal, like replacing him, like admitting he wasn't coming back. Last night, Claire and I had our final fight, except it didn't feel like a fight. It felt like surrender. No screaming, no broken dishes, just two exhausted people finally admitting there was nothing left to save. We're done, she said, and for the first time, I agreed. So I left. I walked with no destination, just trying to outrun the house, the memories, myself. I passed the old liquor store I used to haunt before I got sober. 8 years clean, and for the first time in a long time, I wanted a drink bad enough to shake. That's when I saw it. In the dusty front window of a closed hardware store. A missing poster, fresh paper, bright ink, a photo of Matthew, 6 years old, smiling, like no time had passed. Have you seen me? I just stood there, frozen. Because that poster should have been long gone, buried under years of advertisements and lost dog notices. But there it was, clean, new, waiting. It felt like a message, or a dare. I turned around and drove straight to the forest. No plan, no logic, just rage. If something had taken my son, if something had been playing with us for 20 years, I wanted answers, even if they killed me. The woods were darker than I remembered. The trees looked taller, closer, like they had been leaning inward all these years, waiting. I walked with only my phone flashlight cutting through the black. Every step felt familiar, like my body remembered what my mind was trying to forget. And somehow, without meaning to, I found the boulder. That same rock, that same place, exactly where my life ended. And again, the silence. Complete. Wrong. Not nighttime quiet. Not natural quiet. The kind of silence that feels like being watched. Then, snap. A twig behind me, then another. Movement all around, circling. My chest locked, and then I heard it. Soft, small, right behind me. Daddy? I stopped breathing. Help me, Daddy. My knees almost gave out. The voice was Matthew's. Older somehow, but his. Daddy, I'm scared. I turned slowly, and there he was, standing between the trees. 6 years old, same blue jacket, one shoe missing, same crooked little smile. My son, exactly as he had been 20 years ago. I ran to him. I dropped to my knees and pulled him into my arms. I held him like I could force time backward, like love alone could fix it. But something was wrong. His body was cold, stiff, too still. He didn't hug me back. His arms just hung there, lifeless. Like he was pretending to be my son, not being him. Matthew? I whispered. He leaned close to my ear. His voice was flat, emotionless, like someone reading lines from memory. Come with me, Daddy. I pulled back. His eyes looked black, not dark. Black, empty. I want you to meet my family. Something moved in the trees behind him. Then another shape, then another. Tall, thin, watching, waiting. My stomach turned to ice. We've been waiting for you, he said. You took so long. His hand reached for mine, cold as stone. And against every instinct screaming inside me, I let him take it. Because even then, even terrified, even knowing something was horribly wrong, he was still my son. and I had been following him for 20 years. He smiled and led me deeper into the trees. Behind us, more footsteps joined, slow, patient, like they knew I wasn't leaving. This time, I didn't fight it.